Brantford Mayor Kevin Davis is back to talk about what's happening around the city. Obviously, the first topic is Trump tariffs that have now been implemented. Brantford is rated number 5 for being the hardest hit by these tariffs, and that's why the Trade and Procurement Group is working on being established. What do these tariffs mean for Brantford? Like, the business parks are booming in Brantford.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't surprised at that rating because in the last 7 years, I have personally visited most of Brantford's largest employers. So I have a pretty good understanding what they do and who they sell to. And many of the businesses in Brantford produce things, merchandise, and 80, 60, 70, 80% of what they produce is sold into the States, using the NAFTA agreement. And so if they're going to be sustained tariffs, across the board tariffs, yeah, it's going to be very hard for our community, and that's why I used the strong mayor powers earlier this week to direct staff to form a working group to look at what our options are. And from procurement to looking at our industrial strategy to what we can do to support businesses and employees who will be affected. And we hope to have a report from staff on March 4th. Hope to hear a lot from our community, the business community, individuals, Chamber of Commerce, what it is we can do to prepare. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but we want to be ready if it does happen.
Off the top of your head, what do you think you can do to prepare for this? Like, there's a new twist every day, it seems.
Well, if you look at the businesses in town, I've talked, over the past week, I've talked to about 15 of the largest employers in town, the general managers or presidents, and a lot of them, they're already responding. Like, for example, some businesses, they've ramped up their production. They have a lot of inventory in the U.S., which will tide them through a couple of months of a general tariff. Others are looking at different suppliers, looking at different customers. Some are looking at shifting production lines around. But, I mean, there are some businesses in our area that won't be able to adapt, and they'll be, downsizing, layoffs. And so we're trying to anticipate that. What can we at the city do to help those businesses and the employees of those businesses? The other thing I'm doing is I'm a member of the Ontario Big City Mayors Caucus, mayors of the 29 largest cities in Ontario. And we formed last Friday a subcommittee, a tariff committee. And what we're going to do is we're going to focus on our counterparts, municipal officials in the northern U.S. states, and lobby and advocate with them to put pressure on Congress and the American President's office to help and assist all of this, because it's going to hurt everybody, whether you're a municipality in New York State or in Ontario.
Now, shifting gears to the upcoming election, what are you looking for in terms of the next government for the province?
Well, I'm looking for someone that can defend our province regarding this tariff trade war situation. So far as Brantford is concerned, there's one issue that's top of mind for me, and I'm sure most others, and that is, when are we going to get a new hospital? I would like a clear commitment from all the parties as to what the timeline will be. And I got to tell you, Adam, it's very frustrating because decisions regarding the hospital are made at Queen's Park and in the hospital boardroom. We don't have much input in that. At the city, our role is to put aside money, which we're doing to help pay for our share, and cheerlead and advocate and lobby. But it's been frustrating. We've been hearing about a new hospital now for 5, 6 years. It would really be helpful to hear some clear guidelines and timelines. When are we going to get this new hospital?
Now, the emergency department of the Brantford General was just revamped a bit, new construction there. Was that just a Band-Aid, I guess, in your opinion?
No, that was something that had to be done. I mean, they're halfway through that rebuild, and that'll double the capacity of the emergency department. That's been a real choke point for the hospital. I mean, that'll help. That's not a permanent solution. That'll carry the hospital through into the construction of a new hospital, assuming that happens in the next 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. There are some other renovations they're going to be doing. So the hospital will continue to meet the needs of our community, but pretty clear that the community as it's going to be in 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, we need a new hospital, and we need it soon.
Now, less than 30 seconds. What kind of dollar figure are you looking for in terms of investment into a new hospital?
Well, a new hospital, pretty clear they tell us that if you look at other examples recently in the province, it's north of $1 billion. And it depends on how big you're building and where you're building, but it's expensive. No question.
All right, appreciate your time. Thank you very much, Mayor Kevin Davis. Plenty more Morning Live coming up after the break. Stay tuned.